My name is Tony Johnson. I'm the director of sales and, excuse me, I have allergies, so I apologize in advance. But I'm the director of sales and operations at selfstorageauction.com. A little bit of history. I've been actually doing these online auctions from the very concept of it. Our very first company was called Storage Battles. We were the very first ones to do online auctions. So it's been exciting to watch it grow over the years. Now there's quite a few players in the game, which is great. Our sole purpose with online auctions is to help facilities handle their lean sales, they manage their special sales, just to cut down the traffic, the headache of auction day. Been there, did that. I picked up the cigarette butts and the coffee cups, and so I kind of know the pain that can be sometimes to the managers. That's just that added pressure of maybe hoping that no one falls on the site while you're there, or someone being in a section where they shouldn't be, maybe possibly trying to get into other units. Like, we know that this isn't something people want to see, but we know it's a reality. So online auction, what that brings to the table is it's going to bring you more bidders, first of all, and that typically equates with more money for those units, because the more eyes you get on the units, typically the more money you'll get from that unit. What it also does is really kind of frees up the managers to do what they're hired to do, right? And that is to rent space, right? To keep everybody leased up and follow those ones who are maybe a little bit behind. That allows them the time to do their job. Our sole focus is just on auctions. So that's all we do. So once a manager actually comes on the site, our site, or any other site, and they upload those auctions, it's kind of relieving them again of that responsibility, right? So everything is done online, the bidding's done online, viewing's done online. There should only be, that one person who's actually coming to pay that facility, clean those units out, and be off the property or renting from the property. So, there we go. Okay, got it. So, excuse me, I was reading this chat here. But yeah, so again, more money, less traffic in the facilities, a safer environment for everyone. I mean, now that this whole Corona thing has happened, COVID-19, that just adds another layer to it, right? Owners want to protect their operators, they want to protect their managers, so they don't want to put them at risk, of dealing with people coming in, a ton of people coming in and standing in front of a door, right? There would be no social distancing that way. Excuse me. So with this, it takes all of that out of the equation. It's all done because it's all online. So you're not going to be having to deal with that. And your managers are able to let these people know. And this is something that my member service staff does a lot. We always advise managers, hey, make sure they call you before they come. Set up an appointment. This way, on the manager side, they can do their due diligence to make sure they're protected. They have the hand cleaners, they got their mask right, so they're not bombarded, by people at unexpected times. So with online, you're able to do that. Put in your auction notice. Hey, please call before coming. Any of those kind of things that's going to help out, especially in this time that we're living in right now. Some of you, I'm sure, have already tried online auctions, and I'm hoping that they're all doing well from you, regardless of what company you're using. um, it's modern technology, right? How many people nowadays even read a newspaper or actually go in the store and buy a newspaper? You just don't, right? You're able to read that from your phone or your laptop or whatever instrument you have. And it's the same thing with auctions. Now, the bidders on the bidder side, they love it, because now they're able to bid on multiple auctions at multiple locations, all from the comfort of their home. So they're not jumping in a car and trying to get to this one and then drive way across town to the next one. Like, they're able to do it right from their device. So this has been letting those buyers, those serious buyers really be able to up their inventory while they're freeing up the facility's inventory. So, it's a two hand washes the other kind of situation. And it's seeming to really be working. I know we personally have went global. We're in Australia, we're in the UK now, and Canada as well. Um, we're they're branching out because what we're finding is this is the way people want to go about it, right? This is the way they want to do it because they can do it on the phone. It's very, 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 very user friendly. Most sites now have API agreements with management software companies. So again, this is another thing that helps aid the managers because now the information is able to be pulled from your software, like let's say SiteLink or Cineshift or any of those guys, is able to pull that information, pre-populate some fields for your manager, takes out human error. So a number doesn't get twisted, like it doesn't get the one where the two is supposed to be or any of that kind of thing. It has direct information that goes directly into the site. And again, human error is cut down. You're able to go back and trace it. If there's ever a question 6, 7 months down the road, you're able to follow up on that and have answers for whomever that may be. Typically, when you're doing online auctions, the only difference is processes. The states that still require you to put an ad in paper 2 consecutive weeks, well, most facilities, as soon as they put that first ad in, that's when they upload that auction. So now the auction is being viewed. People are actually viewing the units, bidding on the units throughout that whole 2 weeks. It's just not closing into that last day, of course, but they're actually bidding on it and it's saving you time. So now it before you would be having this just sitting there waiting for that one day and then hoping that one day we're going to open up the door and we're going to get a great outcome. Well, now you're able to follow this through the process and you're able to see, hey, wait, I got 200 people following this union or I got this amount going on here. So you can kind of gauge how well the unit's going to do. Gets to that last day again, the clock ticks down to 3 zeros. Boom, it gets sold. It immediately invoices immediately go out to winning bidders. It immediately goes out to the facility, so they have all contact information on both ways. And again, I go back to I always shared with managers, please put in your custom auction notice, call before coming to the facility, make an appointment, especially at this time with all this going on that we deal with every day. um, it's some sites charge cancellation fees, others don't. My personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, I think it's kind of wrong to charge a facility for receiving 100% of what they owe, penalizing. Um, that's just my personal opinion. And at self-storage auctions, we actually, live that culture. We don't do that. There's other companies that do, and there's other companies that don't. So I'm not trying to put anybody down. I just want to let you know if you're shopping for companies, you want to try it, or maybe you're not happy with the site that you're with. There's other sites out there, and I mean, you should be able to ask those questions and get your answers, to those questions. And the important things are, how big is your bidder base, right? Because the more bidders, and that goes back to what I first said, the more bidders that you can get eyes on your unit, the better typically that unit's going to do. So you're going to want to know, does this company have a solid bidder base? Has this company had experience with this? Is this company's member service staff going to be able to accommodate my managers? There's facilities that have multiple facilities, multiple managers, and then there's the mom and pop that have one and two. Everyone should be treated equally. So you want to make sure that you do have a company that has a staff that can actually handle your needs. Again, I'm been here doing this for the beginning of this, and I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen where there's an influx of people wanting questions answered, and I know how frustrating it is for them when they can't get that answer. So this is why self-storage auction, and again, I'm putting a plug there, but self-storage auction, we have 24-hour member service available. And there's several different ways companies can do that. How do you send out lien notice in preparation for an auction? Well, Mike, you still do your legal requirements, your lien notice. So you're still going to send out that first letter, and then you're going to send out that second letter, letter of intent to sell. The facilities are still required to handle that portion of it. So you're going to send when you send out that second letter, though. There's the thing: when you send out that second letter, the intent to sell letter, you're able to start that process. You have proof that you sent it out. So you sent it out certified mail, registered mail. Some states are allowing email now. So as long as you have proof that you sent that out, that second letter, you're able to go ahead and start the auction process. Meaning you're able to go cut the locks. You're able to take your photos. You're able to upload that auction on a online site at that point. So you always want to make sure, though, you're double checking your lien laws. Most sites that are out there now actually have a legal corner such as ours. If you go to the top left, right hand corner of our site, you'll see legal corner. You're able to pull up your state. It's going to have all your lien laws, any amendments, any updates will be right there. It's pulled from the SSA. What states? Well, actually, like we're in all 50 states. So there's not a state that has not allowed us to use our online platform. No, don't quote me. You can go to SSA or on our site, go to that legal corner. You can pull that up. But it's one of the eastern states, or a couple of them actually, that's allowing email. Just as some are moving to allow email is a way of advertising as well. I know with our site, we've actually had a public auction notice. So with those states, you're able to upload your public auction notice on the site. The same thing you would be putting in the paper, you're able to do it on the site. Again, how many people read the paper? And legislators are starting to see that, where they're more likely to read it on the site, view it on the site than they are from a paper. We have something from Joe here. Florida allows, but only if there's a receipt of email being received and only to the email account that has been attached to the renter agreement. So, Mike, were you able to hear that, or and Joe, thank you for that. So hopefully, moving forward, a lot of other states are going to follow suit. They're going to follow suit with that because again, the newspapers, pretty big guys. They make a ton of money running their ads. So of course they've been fighting it. But we have people that are lobbying, and hopefully, moving forward, it's not going to have to happen anymore. Okay, we got Kurt. Does self-storage auction.com need to be registered with an individual state to be able to conduct online auctions in the states? Kurt, we're actually licensed in all 50 states as far as auctioneer. So yes, we're in all 50 states. And Kurt, where are you located? Well, we would be able to cover all of those, Kurt. I would be happy to say. I'm not sure if you've been to our site or not, but we have quite a bit going on in just about every state at any given time. How do you handle your auctions at the moment, Kurt? Well, waiting for Kurt to get back. Okay. The, oh, here we go. Oh, great. And so, Kurt, if you don't mind sharing, how do you feel about that? I mean, how do you feel about both sites in general? And also, this is kind of the Q&A part. If anyone else has any questions, please feel free to chat them into me or okay. So Kurt, it seems to me that you're doing some shopping, which is great because again, it's a business and you want to get, do what's best for your business. How do you feel about member service? How do you feel about that? About customer service? Are you feeling that your managers are being served in a prompt and professional manner? And hi, Peter Allen. All right. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I think that's a huge thing, and I definitely advise when people are looking because you have to have access to a good member service staff, being everything is online. You want to make sure that your concerns, your questions, everything is answered promptly, and to your satisfaction. So that's good. I'm happy that you're happy. That's a good thing. And Peter, I know you just came on here. This is kind of open to Q&A at this minute. So please, if you have any questions, go ahead and chat them in, or I guess you can hit the mic too and speak to me if you like. But it's up to you. Hello, Trevor. Travis and Amber. It looks like Eugene, Oregon. Okay, nice. Yes, I actually Kurt personally know her, and she is a wonderful person and really good at what she does. Fantastic. So, Travis, how do you actually handle your auctions? Hi, Amber, Randy, and Craig as well. Welcome. Well, Travis, that's exciting, man. That is very exciting that you're purchasing the facility. Having auctions is one of those evils of the business. But the best thing to know, Travis, is that whenever that does arise, there are several companies out here that are available to you to use to help you get rid of those delinquent renters again once that shit arrives. How we doing, Andy? Again, guys, this is it's kind of open here. If you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead, chat them in. Let's get some answers for you. Amber, where are you located? Texas. Okay, perfect. Perfect. And Amber, do you have facilities there or nice? And Amber, how do you guys actually handle your auctions at this point? Perfect. And do you find that it's helpful? Do you find you like it better than live auctions, or especially at this time? And then hello, Jessica. Hey, Amber just wrote, I love it. There are less people, and the property doesn't have as much stress to deal with the day of the auction. Been there, Amber, and I totally agree with you. Again, I was one of those ones that had to clean up behind those guys and pick up the cigarette butts and the cups. So I know that that's a headache you don't need to deal with. Definitely. So now, let me see. Oh, here we go. Another one from Amber. It's really simple and easy to maintain. That it is. That it is. And then Kurt just typed in, what type of marketing are you doing to drive more bidders, higher sales prices in the market where our stores are located? Well, actually, our particular company, we have a marketing department. And what they typically do is as soon as one of your units become live, they're going to market to all of our registered bidders, excuse me, Kurt, in your immediate area. And then we go out a 200-mile radius. Now, let's say you have a locker that has toolboxes in it or something to that effect. Then we target market as well. Right? Is this actual some bidders are looking for certain things in like in groups, so we'll go ahead and target market to those groups as well. We use auctions and go to auction and Globe, and there's several other platforms that the marketing department uses to market the units and get the most out of them for you. And that's another thing. Now you bring that up as far as comparing like online prices to live prices. We know that nationally, a live auction would bring you anywhere from 5 to 20 cents on a dollar. I mean, that's national, coast to coast. Online course, that increases. That increases to 30, up to 50, up to 80. I've seen in some spots. So again, and again, that all goes back to accessibility. The more people that have access to the site, the more people that have access to your unit, the higher the bids typically go because you have more people battling. It takes away from the two brothers and a cousin deal, where you got the guys that make the side deals. You buy this locker, I'll buy that from you out of the locker. Let's keep the prices down. Well, it takes all of that out of the equation. Now it's an even playing field. So people really, if they want a unit, then they're gonna really battle for it. So Kurt, I'm sure you've seen the soft close on our site. What's your feelings about that? Do you like that, or do you like the fact that we're going to continue to do this to bring you as much money? Okay. I just got a question from Jessica. She asks here, do you see the trend staying more online in 2021 and less in person? Absolutely. Great question, but absolutely. Because again, as long as we're in this pandemic, for one, people are, they don't want to go out, which is totally understandable. We know that we're hoping and everybody's praying, keeping their hands together, that next year we're going to kind of get some control over this. But still, people aren't going to want to be gathering in front of a door with a flashlight with a bunch of other people they don't know to bid on a unit. Uh, the facilities are starting to really see that they're getting more money for the units. And of course, I know facilities aren't in the business of selling units, but they do want to recoup as much as they can of their lien loss. So this way has been proven, tried and proven that it's going to get them more than online. I mean, more than live. So to answer your question, just yes, definitely facilities are definitely going to be staying, you know, 21 and out. Great question. Thank you for that. Okay, Kurt typed, what do you mean soft close online? In your recovery rate report, you are no longer included the amount paid by the customer to avert the sale of their unit, correct? Okay, this is like a two-part question. So the soft close, Kurt, that's for the people that try to do the eBay thing. They look at the clock. They might have been watching you from the time you put it up until the close time, but then they'll wait to the last few minutes to try to bid on it to get it for cheap as possible. Well, when they do that, we extend the auction 3 minutes and we keep doing that until all bidding is done. So you're getting the most out of that unit. That's a soft close. So that's to your first one. Your recovery rate is reported on our site. I mean, you're able to pull the report right from the dashboard. It's all real time. You can set the parameters of how far you want to go back and check, and then you actually hit process, and it's going to pull up a report for you, and it's going to show you exactly how many units that you've listed, how many of those units actually sold, how many of those units were canceled, how many of those units had no bids, and then it will show you your bad debt recovery. So they're going to show you the average bad debt recovery. So you should always be able to see, okay, well, the last 6 months I was getting on an average $200 a unit, or whatever that number is. You'll be able to see that. You'll also be able to track that. I hope that answered your question, Kurt. Oh, and your third part of that was to avert your customer from the sale. So I'm assuming you're talking about the renter. Well, online auctions, just like live auctions, are all public auctions. So we couldn't stop a person from bidding on a unit. Again, this is one of the things that we educate our managers, and when we bring them on, and owners, when we bring them on, you always want to put in that custom auction notice as well, right to refuse sale. Because again, it's a public auction, so we couldn't legally stop them from actually bidding on the unit. But if you have right to refuse sale, facility holds the right to refuse sale, then you're able to say, hey, Tony, I'm not selling this guy as max tenant. Go to the next highest bidder, and we're able to do that for you. Kurt puts, yes, we like the ability for the system to extend the auction X minutes when the bid comes in during the last few minutes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. Hello, Chandler. Chandler, we just got kind of Q&A going on. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them in. So let me ask this question. Is there anyone here on the round table at the moment that hasn't done online auctions? Okay, I'm gonna take that as a no, and that's a good thing. Because again, that this is just the way of the world it is now. Oh, here we go. Treasure. I have not. Yes, steps. Okay, well, the very first thing you would want to do is, of course, pick the company you want to go with. Then you're gonna go ahead and register with our particular company. When you register, what you're actually doing there, Travis, is you're creating two pieces of information, a username and a password. These two pieces of information are going to allow you to get into your dashboard. Once you're in your dashboard, this is where you're going to put a brief description of the unit. You're going to pick the date you want the auction to start, the date you want the auction to end. You're going to upload some photos. We recommend anywhere from 5 to 10. The more photos, the better. Bidders like to see photos, and keeping in mind the photos are really what's selling the unit. So the better the photos, typically, again, that equates to better prices. So you want to upload a bunch of decent photos. Once you have the photos uploaded, with our particular site, it's going to take you to step 3, which is your preview. So you're going to be able to see exactly what your auction is going to look like, what the bidders are going to see. And if you're happy with that, of course, you're going to hit post auction, and then you're done at that point. From that point, that's when our marketing partner is going to grab it and get it in front of those registered bidders for you and get that unit sold. Hi, Mark. Mark, we're kind of doing a little Q&A at this point. If you have any questions, please feel free to go ahead and type them in. I'd love to get them answered for you. All righty. Well, I hope I was able to answer everybody's questions. My contact information is in here. Definitely, if you have any questions at all, feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email. I would love to get them answered for you. Um, we really take pride at selfstorageauctions.com and just being there for the experience facility with online auction as well as the inexperience. So there is no question that you can't ask. We want to be there to get you cleared up, get it done for you. Hi, David. David, definitely feel free if you have any questions here. To definitely feel free to go ahead and chat in. Love to get those answers for you, David. Um, where are you from, Dave? Welcome, everybody. I'm thinking that we just started a new table. My name is Tony Johnson. I am the Director of Sales and Operations for SelfStorageAuctions.com. Little background there. We were the very first company to actually do online auctions. So I had the pleasure of watching it grow and change throughout the industry from the very beginning. Uh, excuse me. My first company was called Storage Battles, and then we morphed into Storage Treasures. We actually sold that a few years back, and at the request of some of the REITs, they wanted us to bring back our Storage Battles platform. It just seemed to be the fan favorite. So we did. We rebranded it selfstorageauction.com, and we launched in 2016. We've been best in business every year since, so I'm very proud to say that. There is several other companies that are out there that actually do online auctions, and that's been another exciting thing for me to see as this grew in the industry, that it caught on with others. So there's some great ones out there. If you're looking for a platform, I would invite you to shop. Make sure that wherever you go, they're able to handle your specific needs. What's huge is the bidder base. You want to make sure whatever company you go with has a healthy bidder base. Without the bidders, you're not going to get the money for the unit. So that would be one of the very first things I would say to put on your shopping list. You want to look at their success in industry. Again, we're actually global, and I'm very proud to say that. It's taken a lot of work and dedication from a lot of people on our team to make all this happen, and we're there. And being best in business every year since 2016 again is something we're extremely proud of. But it's all we do. Our sole focus is based on hosting the facility, your auctions, and getting the most out of those auctions and keeping you comfortable and satisfied. So you want to make sure you're on that list, that you're going to have a big bidder base. You want to see experience, member service staff or customer service staff. You want to make sure whomever you're going with is able or are able to handle your specific needs. Our customer service staff is open 24/7, 7 days a week. As we know that some facilities will have an auction on a Sunday. We have auctions that are closing Thanksgiving, right? So you have to have staff available to help out those managers. Is the point I'm making. So if you're making that shopping list, you want to make sure you look at that as well. Pricing, of course, is huge, right? There's some sites that'll tell you, hey, it's not going to cost you anything, and it might not cost you anything as it appears, but then you look in the background and you see that their bidder base is quite small, and those units are only going to generate you this amount of money, right? So you want to be careful with all those things. Our particular company, as I shared at the last table, we do not charge cancellation fees. We don't feel that that's right, so we don't do that, right? We don't think it's right that we penalize a facility for collecting 100% of the money. So if you have an auction up, that delinquent renter comes in and they slap down the money they owe you on the desk and you accept that money, you shouldn't be penalized for accepting that. We don't agree with that. So there's other things that are out there. If you're shopping for a site to host your auctions, you might want to ask all those questions. You know, um, so at this point, I'm going to go ahead and open it up for Q&A. Please feel free. Any question you have, feel free to ask it. I would love to answer it. Okay, so how about this? At this table here, I see it appears like we have five individuals there. Is there anyone at this table that hasn't done an online auction? Okay, great. So it appears everyone has. So I would like to get some feedback from you guys. How are you guys feeling about these online auctions? You know, what's some of the pros and cons for you guys? Oh, okay. Well, we have quite the quiet crowd on this one, but that's fine. Well, what I would advise, I would definitely offer you guys to anytime, you know, visit our site. Love for you just to walk through it. You know, we always have a bunch of exciting things going on there, and we'd love to share it. So if you have any other questions that maybe you want to ask offline, you know, definitely feel free to get a hold of me there. Ooh. Well, if there's not any more questions, I want to wish everyone a great afternoon. And again, I appreciate you all for coming to the table. I definitely want to thank the SBOA for putting this on. Great organization. I really appreciate you guys. So with that, I'll say good afternoon, everyone.